back to 843 TV. By the way, we are at the beautiful Widgeon Point Preserve, which is right before the Broad River Bridge, and we're filming for the great folks with Beaufort County today. And joining us now are Marie and Jean with the Board of Voter Registration and Elections. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Well, it's that time of year, almost. November coming up, and then November 2024. So we're going to talk about the voting process today. Who can vote? What's the process? Elections and all that good stuff. So let's talk about who can vote, first of all, and how do they make sure we're registered?
Okay, if you are a resident of the state of South Carolina, if you are a resident of the United States, and if you're a resident of the precinct that you live in, you are eligible to vote, but you must be 18 years old at least. And during a general election year, if you are eligible, or if you're going to be 18 before the general election, you are also eligible to vote in the primaries.
Do you have to be 18 before a certain time, like 30 days prior, or is there a time restriction?
As long as you're 18 before election day.
Okay.
Registration, you must be registered at least 30 days prior to the election that you want to participate in. So.
And what is the process that someone has to go about to do that, make sure they're registered?
You must first fill out an application for registration, and that can be done by obtaining an application online or from our website or the scvotes.gov website. You can register through DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles, and some other agencies in the county. And as long as you are going to be 18 by the November election, you can register.
All right, so it's a right that we need to exercise and do, and sometimes we forget and we just don't do it. So what advice might you give to folks who are eligible to vote but just say, does my vote even count? What would you tell them?
I would tell them to make a plan to vote. Plan to vote. Lots of times people don't think about elections until the election is upon them. Mm-hmm. So plan to vote. Make sure that you're registered in time. Make sure your address is updated in our system, because that's the big thing. Lots of people will be like, well, I moved 2 years ago, but I didn't update my address. So make sure your address is updated in our system and that you're registered in plenty of time.
And how might they double check just to be sure?
They can come into our office. They can call us. They can go to scvotes.gov, and that will they'll put in their personal information, and it'll tell them where they're registered, and they'll be able to see if that information is up to date.
Now, everyone knows the presidential election is next year in 2024, but in fact, there's a lot of elections, a lot of positions, a lot of things going on right in the county that are very, very important. So if you can elaborate and share with the folks what some of those are.
Yes, and there is an election somewhere in South Carolina.
Somewhere.
Almost every Tuesday.
Sure.
But November is typically the voting month. Mm-hmm. In Beaufort County, we are scheduled to have several elections in this November. As a matter of fact, we will be having a ballot with the school board bond referendum, which incorporate all of our voters in the county. And we also have the town of Bluffton on the ballot. We have the town of Port Royal,
right?
the mayoral race, and two town council, and the town of Port Royal is the same. And we also have a portion of the town of Yamasee that participate in the 2023, will be participating in the 2023 elections. And a special election is also being held for the Fripp Island Public Service District. So we want our folks to come out and vote, because there are a lot of initiative on the ballot this year.
And there's a lot there that you need to sort of research and learn. So how can somebody maybe take some time in advance and find out about some of these options and who to vote for, what the causes are, those kind of things? What would you recommend? What's the easiest way?
Well, of course, you can always call the office to find out what's going to be on the ballot.
Okay.
You can also go to our website. The information is on our website, what elections are coming up this year. And next year, of course, that information will change, because we have a whole lot more coming up next year than we have this year. But we take one step at a time. But we prepare for elections 364 days of the year.
So your jobs are nonstop all year long.
All the time.
And there's a lot more to talk about. We're going to take a quick break, so stay right here with 843 TV.